By choosing personal freedom, you move the needle towards a liberation for your whole self. And in doing that, you ultimately move the needle towards love for all. And I love that about you. Welcome, Soul Fam. Welcome to the Embodied Heart channel. Today's message is you are a walking miracle. You are a personified lighthouse. How amazing is that? And our question is, what does freedom feel like for a walking miracle? Notice I said feel like and not look like. Okay. So let us begin. Animal spirits that are present: rabbit, woolly mammoth, sea otter, turtle, dragonfly, specifically a blue dragonfly. I have 5 decks that wish to support this reading, so the number 5 might be significant. Names to be honored as love activators for this message. If you know, you know. Mary, Katie, Sam, Jenny, Greg. I love you all. Okay, so before we get into the decks, I have just a few messages, spirit-guided messages before we get into it. One is I saw diamond teardrops and like holy water. And then that felt really significant. And it felt like grief and baptism came up. So you could have just gotten baptized, or you're interested in getting baptized. I didn't really understand what the message of baptism was, so I went in and I looked up the definition. And I got an outward expression of an inward change, beautiful, a demonstration of faith before supportive believers, and that I want to expand upon. There could be supportive believers who see you and your authenticity, like our friends, our family members, a church, if that's something that you're a part of. And you could just be the supportive believer. And the body of water could be a lake, a stream, your shower. It doesn't necessarily have to be like this structured ceremony at a church. So, immersed in water to cleanse the death of a life lived in sin, which I'm going to expand upon, to purify the way forward. Loved that. I have a lot to say about sin, as you can see, because I feel like that word was something that just was like hanging out on my mouth, and it wasn't feeling good. I've had a very interesting relationship with religion. I would call myself a spiritual person. I believe in God. I would not consider myself religious. Because I've noticed that is very limiting to the type of life that I want to live, and doesn't fully allow me to claim my desires in the ways that it's been expressed to me. So certain family members have really used religion as not a way to shame and judge. That's essentially what their human was doing, but I know that wasn't the intention. But unfortunately, that's how I experienced it. So it never felt good. It always felt like it was a finger being pointed at me, and I always knew my heart, like I knew how pure I was and how loving I was. So to be shut down, for a desire of mine to be shut down because it didn't align with the way that this person in my life thought that it should, which really bridges us into talking about sin. So what I have is not doing what you want to do or being who you want to be is really the only sin. What sin is not is doing things differently than what others say you should be doing. Right? Like the shoulding on ourselves, shoulding on others. Like that's all just a judgment. And it's important to discern what's ours. But judgment comes from a lack of understanding. And like an unwillingness to open our mind to the possibility that there are differences in the world. So, do you know your heart? Do you feel its secret desires? Because if you know what's true for you, then the only sin is not honoring that. Yeah. I pretty much said everything else. Like, I had people get into the nitty-gritty judgments of sin, and I do not subscribe to that. We are not people-pleasing. We are not shitting on ourselves. We are not shitting on others. We are staying in our lane with our own spirit, and we're purifying the way forward so that we have the space to be in love with life and ourselves. And how magical is that? Okay, moving on. Grief. Of course this feeling came through because the more you trust and let go of what no longer serves you, and by trust I mean trust in your desires, what's placed on your heart, the more you become a match for what you truly desire. Like that good that God put on your heart. Yeah, you're making room for it. And letting go is not easy. It's not. And we need to honor and acknowledge that before we can move on. So, holding on isn't easy either. I had this visual of like tug of war, and you have a rope, and the hands they had rope burn. And to me, that was understanding when pain that's been gifted for growth and our expansion of empathy turns into suffering. And you know that point when it shifts over from like purposeful to not feeling good. Pain never feels good. What am I trying to say? Yeah, I think I said that. Just basically that it's important for you to discern at what point that pain becomes suffering. Okay, and you know that feeling. So if you're having a difficult time letting go, it's information. And there's a lot I want to say on this. So when you are having a hard time letting go, first guidance is just take a minute for yourself, return to your breath, to your inspiration, and give that sensation space rather than wishing it away. If it feels forced, like if it feels like we're forcing it down or forcing it away, there's still something in that situation to be seen, witnessed, and heard. So for now, if you can't let it go, because I'm not going to pressure you to do that, you can hold it differently. And think of like a snow globe. And if you shake it up and you look at it from one angle, you see a certain perspective of what's inside. And if you turn it, you see a different perspective. Maybe you see the side of a snowman or the back of a snowman, and you didn't notice that his hat had ribbons on the back of it. Play around with the sensation. Witness it, observe it. You are not the sensation. I think I need to move forward because this little nebula star projector is in my eyeballs. Yeah, you are not your thoughts, emotions, physical sensations. You are the amazing, radiant angel being experiencing all of these things in choosing the human experience that you have. So you know what you're doing. I see you. The song that came to me when I was writing out about letting go was Tony Jones' Energy Budget. Buzz it. Toni Jones. It opens by, I recall all my power and my energy back to me with divine care. Whoever, whatever is living off my light energy, run that back. And I get chills every time I listen to it because she speaks so well about misalignment in her song. And she talks about how it's not personal, it's spiritual, and it's vibrational. Okay, because you are never out of alignment. People, places, thoughts, beliefs, situations, those can be out of alignment with where you want to go. Say you're moving towards love, prosperity, abundance. When you start to move into that vibration, it becomes very obvious what around you is no longer, I shouldn't say no longer, is not aligned. I just shut it on myself. I mean, see, it's so hard. We all do it. Yes, okay. I lost my train of thought, but it's okay. It's not personal. Oh yeah, okay, thank you, Spirit. So when we decide that we're aligning with whatever vibration, because we have free will, it becomes obvious what is not in alignment with what we want and what we desire. It's not personal, again. It's vibrational, it's spiritual. So this is why living a spirit-led life requires grit and courage, because you need to be brave with self-esteem and self-love to turn away from certain things, because it's hard. Grief is a deep feeling. It's deep. And to have that honor and loyalty to yourself and to what's on your heart is really hard, and not everyone can do it. So this is why grief and sadness can exist at the same time, because you're so in joy, you're so ecstatic because you can see where you're going, you've identified a need, you've identified a desire, and this stinks that I'm not aligning with this person as much. I love that person. I'm just not in love with that way, that dynamic, that vibration anymore. It just doesn't feel right. And it doesn't have to be anything more than that. You can just say to yourself, this doesn't feel right anymore. I'm also getting this Casey Musgraves song, Deeper Well. And she sings, you've got dark energy, something I can't unsee, and I've got to take care of myself. I found a deeper well. My cat just knocked over the astronaut, but that's okay. That's okay, Carl. Also, I feel like that was a total synchronicity, but I'm going to hook my Nebula back up because I like the vibe. Carl, you silly man. Thank you for that confirmation, Carl. We love you. We love you. We love you. Hold on. Hold on. Well, we got lots of stars going on here. Okay. I'm back. So sometimes people show you an energy that feels dark and uncomfortable, and we can offer empathy, but we don't have to excuse that it made us feel some type of way and that it doesn't feel right, period. I give you permission to move on. You and your desires, like, this world needs them, and it's so much more important than our fear of people pleasing. Okay, hold on, one more time. Okay. We got it. We're in space now. Okay. I wanted to record this before the sun went down, and we've just had a whole discombobulated day over here with my daughter, and this is an interesting setting for me, so thanks for being so patient. Okay, I love sunlight. I feel like sunlight powers me and my brain, so I hope that this message comes out right and comes out smooth, and I hope that people can hear it, because my hair keeps getting in the way of the microphone, but I kind of like it there, so. Okay. I love this message that I wrote, and I'm just going to read it to you right here. Just because you shine like rainbow glitter doesn't mean your life has felt like rainbow glitter. I see you, I hear you, and I love you. And I hope this message serves as glitter fuel to keep the light inside your heart shining. Boom, bam, bang. Okay, we're getting into the cards, baby. Hey Google, play.
I can't find anything playing right now.
Okay, that's information. I was about to continue my playlist just because it's my I don't know, I feel like music gives me safety and makes me feel better. And I have nerves when I'm doing this because it's so new to me. And I don't know if any of you are parents, but I feel like I get mom brain or parent brain, and I'm just like, my brain feels like mush, and I have all these amazing thoughts, but they just aren't coming out smooth. Stillness feels good. Just coming back to the breath. Okay, so this first deck I have is the Sacred Forest Oracle. I will link all these decks below, like I have been in the last video, like I did. Okay, let's split this baby. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Of course, Spirit's not kidding. This is why I love to pull them live, because this is a literal miracle just happened. Live on the Embodied Heart channel. Ah! Spirit Guardian of Autumn, letting go. 35. Bottom of the deck. Be Spirit. Prosperity. I know we already said that word. Thank you, God. Wow. You are letting go of all that no longer serves you because, baby, you are moving into prosperity. That's where you're going. I'm sorry, no. That's not where you're going. That's where you are. I have a hard time I've been watching readings for years. I've always loved Oracle. I love Tarot. It's all amazing. I love the messages. I love watching it unfold live. I think it's so beautiful. What I'm having a hard time with is the future. Why do I want to say promises? It all feels like future oriented, but like, what do we have right now? Because we can access prosperity right the heck now. We don't need to wait for it to come in. We don't need to make some grand change or put something special on our altar to call in prosperity. You can have it right now. You go downstairs, simple decision. What do you want to do next? What do you want to do next? Do you want to take a shower? Do you want to brush your teeth? Do you want to watch a movie? Do you want to call a friend? Do you want to go out and do something? Do you want to eat something specific? Do it. That is prosperity. Having access to personal freedom. And we make it so like this is what a spiritual life looks like. This is what abundance looks like. This is what love looks like. But genuinely, emotions are so intimate and specific to the individual experiencing them because we all have different relationships with our emotions. Think about it, like a friend that you have or a family member that you know. You have a certain type of dynamic with that person. That's your relationship with them. And then think of all the other people in their life and all the other people in your life and how different each and every one of those experiences in those relationships are. Yeah. We are not meant to put anything inside of a box. We are not meant to mimic someone else's way of life, someone else's spiritual design in hopes of finding our own awakening. And there are someone called me a chameleon once. This girl from my high school, and it like threw me through a loop because I was like, oh my God, do I not know who I am? Like, yeah, I have a lot of different friend groups, and I always had a bunch of different friend groups. And Freya Ray actually just did a video on this, and I was mind blown because I felt like she was talking straight up, like right to me. Everything that came out of her mouth was just gold. And so what she was saying was like, you have all of these friend groups and you were always there, but you weren't like in the group. And you weren't meant to be in the group. You're different. You're your own vibration, you're your own being. Like, you are an anomaly, right? So where I was coming from with this chameleon life was I did not have a sense of who I was. I didn't have like really strong family connections. I'm an only child. I always wanted love, like a best friend or a partner. Like, I was always looking for someone to just like be intimate with in conversation and play and everything. And so in different groups that had their own vibes, yeah, I would try that vibe on. Like, I would shape shift into what was around me, because that is what I am. I am a Lemurian quartz crystal. I amplify everything around me. I just take in the energy around me and then amplify it back out. I've really owned that. That's who I am. And in trying on all these hats, I got to try on so many different personalities and likes and dislikes and thoughts and beliefs and ways of play and ways of being. And then I got to really go, that's not me, that's not me, I'll keep that, that feels like me. So whatever felt good was mine, that was me. And these people were reflecting that back to me so that I could access it. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So in the letting go, I'm seeing like you have been this chameleon. You've been the shapeshifter. You have been such an observer, but you've also put yourself into these situations where not only were you observing, but you were embodying what you were observing. And that allowed you to be so intimate with the energy that was being received and projected that now you're really refining, like, who am I? Out of all of those things. I remember when I closed down my Instagram 5 years ago, I had this moment of like, I don't know if I know who I am. Like, I know that I align with like what this person said or what that person said, but I felt like my thoughts were just an accumulation of the people, like these thousands of people that I followed, and like I didn't have my own original thoughts. So creating that space from maybe certain groups, or for me, Instagram, I was able to hear my own voice and kind of like decondition or deprogram what was programmed and choose my own blueprint. And it is so liberating and it's so clear, because I'm like, oh, I've been in hermit mode for years. And in hermit mode, I really was able to hear the voice of my own soul, and I love her. All she's ever wanted was to feel seen and heard and loved, and to love and see and hear other people. You better believe I'm the one in the aisle at the grocery store who is talking to the worker about her son, and I know all about their life now, and guess what? It was amazing. I got so many healing messages in the conversation. You could tell people thought I was a wackadoo, but I don't even care. I really don't. That's the level of I don't give up we need to get to in living our authenticity. Like, no. No more people pleasing. Oop! What do we get here? Wow, iridescent opalescence. This is the Luminous Humanness deck. I love this deck. I just think it's so beautiful. Wow, look at her just dancing with the light. She looks so free and flowy and beautiful. But there's like dark depth. Oh, she kind of matches my outfit. There's a darkness and a depth to her. I kind of want to read this card. Oh, yes. I saw this card before. Give us this day our daily cake. Yeah. This is all about like indulging in the human experience, because you did not come here to be small. You did not come here to limit yourself, restrict yourself, judge yourself, put yourself in a box because it's a sin. Absolutely not. You are love. That is what you are. Anything else is illusion. I promise you it's illusion. The universe wants you to feel safe and seen and held and loved and abundant and prosperous. And there's enough to go around. Everyone can have what they want. It is a total illusion that you can't. If one person's succeeding, then that means, oh, well, less room for me. No. If your neighbor is succeeding, it's a celebration for, you're succeeding, which means we can all succeed, and it's an inspiration, and you're raising the vibration of the earth, therefore raising my vibration, and now I feel like I want to go somewhere with it. Yeah, I love this card. Lots of berries, chocolate, fondue, and just like the fire at the top. It almost looks like a lotus flower. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Wow. Chills. Okay, hold on. Let this come. Okay, so a lotus grows out of the mud. And mud is beautiful. I used to go to this Camp Pioneer as a kid, and we did like a mud bath. And we would all race at the end. It was like we would look forward to it at the end of the week. And everyone would go in the mud pit and like roll around like pigs, and then we would go to the beach and everyone would get in the water, and it was so fun, and honestly made my skin feel great. And it's like rolling in the indulgences that like the world might be like, that's mud, like you're not supposed to do that, ew, no, you roll in it, baby. You roll in it, because out of you following your indulgences and your desires, the lotus is born. You flourish. And I'm getting, one thing I used to talk about with my clients all the time was like, your 20s is for figuring out what you don't want and what doesn't feel good. And then your 30s is like embracing it and embodying all the things that you do like and throwing away the rest. Like the phoenix rising from the ashes. We talked about this in the last message. And I think for me, it was really hard in my 20s because I felt like intimidated by the wisdom of people that had more years on this earth than I did. It was really hard for me to just like indulge and feel good about it. So I did other things that felt like I was indulging, but really I was just chasing a sensation, right, which we can do through substances. I was chasing a sensation of indulging in my desires, but I wasn't actually indulging in my desires. Does that make sense? So I give you permission, baby. You roll around in that chocolate. You get yourself some chocolate-covered strawberries. You do whatever the heck you want to do, because it's going to lead you to your beautiful blooming. Towards the iridescent opalescence, which I have to read this card because I just feel too. Okay. I opened right to it. Did y'all see that? Okay. The energy is so beautiful. Okay. The cosmos is also within us. We are made of star fluff. Okay. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself. Be willing to drop all your crystallized, calcified belief systems. As you stand on the precipice of the now, stretch your arms out wide to embrace the majesty of the freshly minted moment that is delivering a brand new batch of awareness beyond what you've known. I have full body chills. Envision the lustrous rainbow prisms of the pearl within you, glimmering and shining. Okay, rainbow glitter? As it leads you on a journey through portals in your psyche, initiating you to a higher, more subtle dimension within yourself. As you allow your previous reference point to become a glowing speck, which, watch the last video, on the distant horizon, imagine you are gazing upon the swirling colors that adorn an opal, moonstone, or pearl. Even just by thinking about it, this effervescent shimmering raises your vibration, giving you access to heavenly realms. Oh, and even just thinking about it makes me think of what I'm learning in my Kundalini course right now. proprioception. Like for certain bodies who aren't able to get in certain positions, there is so much power. Joe Dispenza, I mean, like the epitome of this. Your mind is everything. So when you're accessing like a phantom limb, when you're accessing certain parts of your body in your mind, you actually are accessing that body part. It just might not be this like hard material part, but it's there. And like there's a spirit of everything, like every finger, right? It's like Jupiter is in one finger and Saturn's in another, and we have chakras, and there's all these beautiful ways that our organs hold emotions. Like the liver is where anger lives, and grief lives in our lungs. And this is not woo-woo, because each organ has certain peptides and hormones that it's released that creates a certain experience in the body. And that experience, so say the liver is stimulated and it releases certain peptides and hormones that then are eliciting the vibration of anger. So that's really all that is. Okay, so the mantra for us: when I contemplate my gleaming opalescence, a higher plane of reality avails itself to me, delivering me to a more advanced consciousness. Amen. And then it has like a little sun there. Beautiful, beautiful. I love it, I love it. Oh, at the bottom of the deck, this card, whoosh. Look at her just like whoosh, right into that glitter, right into the light. Like, it's supposed to be fun. This journey is meant to be fun. And yes, as we talked about earlier, there are parts of it that definitely aren't all fun, because that's not life. It's not all fun. But you can, when you have an opportunity to choose fun, choose it. Choose it. You are put on this earth to be full of joy and love and fun. Yay. Okay, 32. All right. My last video was like an hour and 14 minutes, and I opened up with a song, and the beginning lyric was like, it took a while to get me here, now I'm gonna take my time. So I like really didn't rush through that, and I don't want to rush through this, but I want to try to make it more efficient, because ain't nobody got time for honor the cycles. Honor the cycles. Yeah, I just did a reading for a friend the other day, and that card came up, and I had that on my mirror during my pregnancy, because I had a really special healing, and she's like, yo, you're from 8 different dimensions. And I was like, I know. Thank you. Like, thank you. Sometimes it's so helpful for someone to validate the quantum feeling that you have, like where your soul is living. And I was just like, oh my God, I am complicated and confusing to myself and others. And, but it all makes sense. It's like the organized chaos. Like, that's my human design. I'm organized chaos. Oh my God. Okay, Cosmic Dancer deck. Whoop. We got one that fell on the floor. Come back to center. Cat hair. We talked about this in the beginning. If it's hard to let go, just come back to your breath. Come back to inspiration. That is your center. Oh man. And she's just, look at her in this womb. Just a beautiful womb of light with the sacred geometry happening around her. And I don't know why I'm seeing her. I'm feeling like, in a genderless sense, this feminine energy of receiving. And sometimes, in order to receive, we need to be able to identify what we need. And in order to receive the understanding of the need and to hear and witness the need, it's important that we create this womb-like environment, free of distractions. Like today, like I couldn't even have my music on, and that kind of feels unlike me, but I feel so much more focused. So it's information. It's all information, baby. All right, let's see what went on the floor. Are you guys kidding? The card that was at the bottom of the deck that I talked about because I'm from 8 dimensions just flies out on the floor. Another freaking miracle hat? Like, what? Oh my God, I love you. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. This is all y'all's energy. Bringing this in, like, you are powerful and clear. Like, you are clear on who you are and what you want. And I am here for it, baby. We are moving towards love. We are raising the vibration. My hands are behind me. Ah! Okay, so let me just talk about this card for a minute. We are honoring the cycle of death and rebirth. Again, death is only mortal. Our soul, energy can't be destroyed. It can only change form. And we can dismantle who we are at any point. They're called tower moments, right? Like, I remember watching an interview by Miley Cyrus. Confirmation burp. And she said she purposefully every year rebrands herself because she never wants to get stuck into like who she thinks she should be or a past version of her. And oh man, do you remember when she went from Hannah Montana to Miley Cyrus? The judgments up the wazoo. I was even like, you know, I'm this little like, oh, Hannah Montana. Clearly I was watching it, so I was probably younger, and then she's all like, ah, and you're like, oh my God, what is that? That, my friends, is brave courage right in our face, and we couldn't handle it. We were like, oh no, she can't be doing that. She cannot be doing that. And I thank her for doing that because it gives us all permission to do it too. Okay, so this deck, I had these cards fall on the floor when I was shuffling, and I was like, maybe I'll like put them back in and shuffle, but like I kind of feel like they're significant because they fell on the floor. So yeah, we're gonna express this. Look at her, red. You're grounded. Okay, so I'm feeling red for the root chakra, yellow for our solar plexus. Root's all about grounding. Solar plexus, our willpower. So you are like strong and grounded in your knowing, and you gonna express it, baby. You're gonna express it. I love you for that. Thank you. Okay, so the first one, Freya. Did I not just say Freya Ray with the chameleon message? And this spirit is, she's like, boldly go forth. Go forth. Of course, Goddess Freya would be here. And look at all just like the stardust around her and the glitter. Are those wings? Oh yeah, of course those would be feathers. More feathers showing up. So beautiful. Oh, Gaia, connection to nature. I talked about this in my last video, but when you raise your vibration, yes, it is higher and lower, but like, let's just say shift your vibration to love. I don't really like the hierarchies. When you shift your vibration to love and then you're walking on the earth, you are exchanging that back to her. That is so beautiful. And she always is giving that to us. Like a tree doesn't ask for anything in return when you want to sit under it and receive its shade. It's just like, I love you. I see you. I'm here. Do you want to give me, like, we can breathe together because we're both here for each other, feeding off one another's energy. It's just so beautiful. Oh, and like all the flowers in her hair and the clouds. I love you, Gaia. Oh, Bath, my girl. Pleasure. This goes very well with this card for me. Give us this day our daily cake. Black cats could be significant. Of course, my cat comes in here. He's orange. Ah, the Ankh. Yep, on her chest. That could be significant. It's very significant for me. Okay, so we've got boldness, nature, enchantment, and abundance. Rhiannon and Lakshmi. You are enchantment. I'm not even going to go into this dream I had, but the message was like, the enchanted song of the forest is being sung again through your voice. By you boldly going forth to claim your pleasure, to claim your desires. You are enchanting the world with abundance because you are abundance. And do you see the lotus flower? Lotus owl, fish. Wow, 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 wow. I'm feeling like there could be some Christians here with the fish. Christed selves. Wow. And now I'm kind of feeling this is like, if you ever feel like you need support and there aren't humans that that you feel can support you, even therapy, like it's such a privilege to be able to go to therapy. It really truly is. Not everybody has access to that. Not everybody can afford it. And not everyone can afford a good therapist. I came from a clinic. We're underpaid and everybody is desensitized. I can't say everybody, that's too absolute. There are amazing therapists that I'm like, how are you still doing this? And like still feeling so much love. But a lot of people are desensitized just by the system and how much it kind of holds your hands back from truly feeling like you're helping people. But I'm not going to go into that right now. But anywho, so connecting with nature for me when I felt like I didn't have anybody to talk to or anyone that understood me, especially during COVID, nature was everything. Like I would just sit by the water and it would feel so powerful. Like putting my feet in the lake was so cleansing, a creek. Okay, so when I can't access that because I live in a very wintry climate, I will put on the YouTube, oh my gosh, what am I, 80? Yeah, I am actually. I hear there's like a part of me going, yeah, baby, that's your crone, I'm in here. I will put on YouTube like those aerial shots of nature. And it'll have like a beautiful frequency to it. And you're just witnessing like the Hawaiian Islands or Oregon or like under the sea themes. There's so much in nature that you can access and bring to your space without physically having to go in nature, which is also a privilege. So, boldly go forth to your pleasure. You are so enchanting. I can't help but notice like the sparkles on both of them. And abundance is here for you. It's here for you. It's claiming it and taking it. And you could be claiming it and taking it now. If not, I give you permission to claim and take it. Okay, babies. Okay, babies, last card. I'm gonna third eye chakra. Third eye chakra. Third eye chakra. The indigo flower of life supports our intuition and our inner knowing, our imagination and psychic powers. Number 6. Okay, I'm kind of seeing something before. I want to pull another card, but these 3 cards are like super aligning for me because they're the only ones on the table that are all purple. So what I'm feeling is in coming back to center and just like taking a minute when things feel confusing and you don't know what you want, we take a step back. We take a breath. We feel that life force energy that's telling. My husband just goes, I found you, because him and my daughter are playing downstairs, and I feel like that's like, I found you. Like you can hear it. That natural born intelligence, your heart is beating. Like you can put your hand on your chest and you can feel your heart pumping. You're not telling your heart to pump. There's a divine, beautiful intelligence that is keeping you alive, keeping you inhaling and exhaling, your blood flowing in a certain direction, your heart pumping. So when you come back to center, you're giving space for that natural intelligence to move through you and to come into your consciousness. Thank you. Okay? The third eye chakra, where like all of that inner knowing is, those psychic powers. You're whoosh, by coming back to center, you're going woohoo right into those psychic powers. Right on in. And I used to think that I had to wake up every morning and meditate and do yoga and pull my cards, and nobody could touch my decks and nobody could touch my crystals, and I was so rigid and it was so, No. It's all a crock of SHIT. Because what I really truly needed was this. I needed stillness. I needed to come back to center. I was chasing a sensation, chasing a knowing, chasing an idea. Like, I needed to know my purpose, and I needed to feel aligned, and like, what course am I going to make? And everybody's making a course, and like, I should be offering things. I have so much to offer, but like, I couldn't even get an idea to coherently piece itself together because I just wouldn't slow down. I wouldn't slow down. And I did slow down, and here I am, baby. No expectations, but it feels amazing. It feels amazing. I just feel so good to express myself. Okay. Bottom of the deck we have magic. Magic. I love the purple. We're gonna read this card. Okay, yeah. Okay, wait. Hold up. I thought that I pulled magic on the last reading, but I thought that maybe it's miracle. But now that I see all these 3 cards, I shuffle my decks before I sit down, FYI. I shuffle them and then I shuffle them live. I pulled all 3 of these cards the last reading. Okay, just a confirmation. I love you. Your magic is emerging. You are so dynamic, you multidimensional being you. You are from 8, 10, 15, 1,000 different dimensions. And in coming back to center and listening to yourself and opening that third eye chakra, you're just giving more space for your magic to emerge. Look at all this purple. It's absolutely beautiful. Soul fam, this has been so magical. I love you so incredibly much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of the Embodied Heart fam. Until next time.